in that regard, we will start with introduction of each one of you, uh, your name, your designation, and the company you represent, and then we will proceed with our discussion. So,
This is Satyanarayana from Zenith Energy. We are into energy audits and ESCO business. We have a solar arm also. I am general manager there. I retired from BHL in 21.
Hello everyone, this is Mukhtar Sheikh. I am from Sinexcel Electric. We are into the power quality solution products business. So I am sales lead, taking care of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. So this is my background.
Good afternoon. Myself, Mohammad Qasim. I am representative from ALEEP, implementing agency of this RAM.
Hello, my name is Venkat Prasad. I am from Deepak Nitrate Limited.
Hello, my name is C.H. Ramarao from Deepak Nitrate Limited.
Ranga Prakash from Valence Molecules. Valence Molecules. We are into API manufacturing. I'm also associated with JETL.
I am Bakkar Reddy, Executive Director from GDMET Lifeline Treatment Limited. It is a common effluent treatment plant. We are providing a service to 400 MSME industries for treating of industrial wastewater.
thank you, sir. So, we'll start with the circularity. Sir mentioned a couple of examples on how solvents can be reused, how waste can be made into wealth. On that, there are certain questions which I want all of you to put your thoughts on, and it will be an open discussion, open conversation with the idea to understand the problems and challenges. Is there a need, or is there a problem that needs to be addressed? What is the current practice? And if there isn't any current practice, is there a need to develop any innovation to solve that problem? So that would be the objective for our discussion. So basically, to understand the problem, understand how the current practices are. If there isn't any current practice, then is there a need for innovation? So that would be the general objective for both circularity and waste management. So starting off, the first question in circularity is, what materials like solvents, reagents, packaging, and others have the highest reuse or recovery potential in the operations, and how are you currently managing it? So in your manufacturing, in your operations, which has the highest value for reusing, recycling, recovering, and how is it currently being done, or is it not being done? So if I understand, two manufacturing, right? MSME and energy. We can talk in Telugu also. I think most of us know Telugu.
Okay.
All of us know Telugu.
Our industry major consumption is the iron powder. Daily we are using nearly 18 to 19 tons of iron powder. Earlier this iron powder, after the reaction completed, this iron sludge, it is called iron oxide. Iron oxide is sending to the cement industries earlier. ఇప్పుడు ఏం చేసామంటే దాన్ని మేము బై ప్రోడక్ట్గా కన్వర్షన్ చేసాం ఐరన్ ఆక్సైడ్. దాని నుంచి మన పిగ్మెంట్ లెవెల్లో రెడ్ ఆక్సైడ్ కానీ డిఫరెంట్ ఆక్సైడ్స్ తయారు చేయడానికి ప్లానింగ్ చేస్తున్నాం. అండ్ వన్ మోర్ వేస్ట్, మేము వాడే మా ప్రోడక్ట్ నుంచి స్పెంట్ సల్ఫ్యూరిక్ యాసిడ్ వస్తుంది. డైల్యూటెడ్ సల్ఫ్యూరిక్ యాసిడ్, ఇట్ ఈస్ కమింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ ది ఓలియం అనమాట. అది 55% సల్ఫ్యూరిక్ యాసిడ్ వస్తుంది. దాన్ని ఇప్పుడు మేము ఈ ఫెర్టిలైజర్స్ అండ్ ఇండస్ట్రీస్కి సప్లై చేస్తున్నాం యాజ్ ఎ బై ప్రోడక్ట్గా. సెకండ్ వన్ అది. థర్డ్ వన్ ఈజ్ ద ఒక స్టేజ్ నుంచి ఎఫ్లెంట్ జనరేట్ అవుతుంది. ఆ ఎఫ్లెంట్ నుంచి మేము సార్ చెప్పినట్టు సోడియం సల్ఫేట్ తయారు చేస్తాం. ఈ సోడియం సల్ఫేటు పేపర్ ఇండస్ట్రీస్కి ఎక్కువ మ్యానుఫ్యాక్చరింగ్ ఇండస్ట్రీస్కి వెళ్తుంది. దీస్ 3 ఆర్ ది మేజర్ కంపెనీ.
So how about other packaging materials, bottles, plastics?
బాటిల్స్ ఏం వాడమండి మేము.
Chemical bottles.
ఓన్లీ లైనర్స్ యూజ్ చేస్తాం. లైనర్స్ కూడా రీయూజ్ చేస్తాం. ఇట్ మీన్స్ 2 to 3 times రీయూజ్ చేస్తాం లైనర్స్.
Liners reuse chestam. At the same time, whatever the jumbo bags and HDPE bags are there, that for our internal consumption also, whatever we prepare, 40% is internal consumption only in other place. So bags will go there, empty it out, and bags will come back. So like multiple times we use the same till you tear it off, then we use that. Yeah. So that we just sometimes we stitch and use also. It's not that really, because the bag costs around 875 rupees one bag. Yeah. With liner it costs 1000 rupees. Yeah. 1000 rupees plus. So per kg 1 rupee in ton lo. So in that way we reuse, and in manufacturing especially we in Deepak we are not using solvents. Water reuse, recycle, reuse and reduce. We have to reduce usage of the water. How we have to reduce? For that maybe R&D support or process export support is required. Reduce, reuse and recycle or reuse, whatever. Recover. We have to recover. For recover again, there are separate different processes are there, like evaporation, evaporative recovery and membrane based recovery, or ROs, whatever it is, different processes we have to follow. But because in Hyderabad especially, some areas per KL, I know in Gujarat 60 rupees per 1000 liters, but in Jeedimetla 270 rupees water per 1000 liters. So water is very expensive raw material actually.
For pharma industry to find the right water is also important.
Yeah. So but if you recover by yourself, yes.
Distilled water not having pathogens in it. So
Antipyretic water.
Yeah.
Contaminated. So if you say Jeedimetla, you get cold water from across the village. Most of them are contaminated with sewage. So water, most of them are contaminated with sewage water, and then there's a lot of aerobic microbes in it, then a lot of pathogen contamination. So all this, for us to make into a purified water, it takes a lot of energy also. So as he rightly said, water is something which we have to recycle to the max, make sure it is used in the best
So
way
is
possible.
it currently practice that you only recycle it for your facility?
No.
Or is there a central?
See, we as an MSME, we are all dependent on JETL.
Okay.
So we all are sending it in terms of effluent to JETL. Only thing that is, now that we are in the center of the city, we can't increase our effluent loads and all. We take few measures in house where like sewage water is there. Now we have recycling units, the skid mounted. You recycle, reuse for flushing of the toilets, separating out hand washes and flushes. Try to reuse them and minimize. Then recovery of condensate. Condensate also making sure it is not contaminated, and then that one is done RO and then reused back into some sort of other process. Coming back to your question, what is mostly recycled? In terms of value, for pharma it is solvents. In the second one would be crops, like when we purify our product, we always get some part of the product goes off into solvent, and when I recycle my solvent, I can recover my product also out of it, but it is not pure. As Agarwal sir has said, there are a lot of regulatory hurdles for it. So now during product development itself, what we do is we validate how to recover this and then where to reuse it. So we get something called tech grade, and then you purify it. That's where you get pharma grade. So we validate our process in a way that we recover from solvent and reach the process to the recovered material to a level of tech grade, and then put it back into the system. This way we validate it in the initial stages itself so that we don't face a regulatory issue. So that's because your product is expensive. Next thing would be product recovering it. Then water, energy, and then in terms of other waste that we generate a lot of plastic waste in farm. For us, it's most of the time single use. We don't reuse anything because we don't know from where contamination comes in. So all my we do granulation. So when we are doing granulation, we use about 11 excipients. Each excipient comes in double-lined polybag, one silica gel packet. It comes in HDP drum. It is packed with an aluminum ring, seal. Okay, all these are recyclable waste that we generate in our industry. But today there is no structured recyclers available in the market. So it is the whole plastic recyclers. Everything goes together out. Someone else segregates and they make value out.
So
It's unorganized. It's unorganized. And a lot of European countries, like when we are supplying now, they are insisting on single kind of a material to be used. Like let's say packing material. If you're packing in a fiber drum, they want the whole drum to be made of the paper, the cap to be made of paper, seal it with some kind of other tamper-proof things, but not metal seal and then ring and that sort of things.
You did bring about regulatory hurdles when you changed the product development or processes. For every change that you make, how long does the regulatory approval, if you have to go through?
A minor change takes anytime between 12 to 18 months. A major change, it depends on my customer. It depends on the kind of change and the cost. The cost is anywhere between $1 million. So the regulatory fee is about $5,000-6,000, and then the amount of work we have to do. I need to first validate, put stability. So I need minimum 6 months of stability. After 6 months, then I go give it to my customer. He does the formulation. He puts on stability. So let's say I ship my the new process batch today. To reach him and for him to manufacture at least 3 months. After he manufactures, he puts on his stability for 6 months. We both generate together an 1 year data. This is submitted to the regulatory. Regulatory takes 12 to 18 months. And then the approval comes, and that's when we should implement the change. Now, who is going to bear cost for all this?
Exactly. So is it a downtime for the entire?
Not just downtime, like cost also. Who's going? I should give them the cost benefit. Then they'll say, you're going to take new process material, you're going to save $1 million, so do this. And if the cost and advantage doesn't fall in, we want to stick to the old process because none of us are making money out of it.
I mean, this is the major concern for green chemistry implementation as well, right? Though there are less harmful ways of doing processes, but yet that's the major.
Put it across in another way. A known devil is better than an unknown devil. Now we have been recycling a lot of solvents and other things. I don't know if you have heard of nitrosamine impurities. So these are impurities formed during when a solvent is distilled again and again, exposed to overheat. There is some sort of nitroso compound left, and then it will generate impurities. None of us knew. These are carcinogenic. So when they have introduced this, we see our tests are very specific. We test to what we want. We don't test everything in the world. But someone tested for these and they found in few compounds. Then we went back, and then when we saw, it all started from recycling the solvent. And if you neutralize that solvent before, it doesn't come. None of us knew all this beforehand. But on hindsight, we'll get to know all this. So all these, if someone has to evaluate, and take care of all these things in that whole regulatory format, it takes time, effort, and money in it. So you have to look at that whole cycle and the cost effectiveness of it. So if there is no, if you're doing a saving of 100 rupees and then you want to spend $1 million for a change, it doesn't make sense.
The cost, the numbers don't account. Yeah, that was quite interesting. Anybody else? I'm not asking anything related to materials to the energy people, but then if you have anything to add.
I have one issue to discuss. See, we are all targeting to reach net zero. So some clear solutions are there, maybe expensive, but eventually we will reach there because battery cost is coming down and many other things are helping it. But some process related still is hard to break. For example, one of my client is a cement industry. We go for audit. So he has a net zero target. India itself want to be there by 2070 and even before. So the energy to generate this, he may eventually generate from RE and renewables. But in the cement process, this Prasad sir knows very well, the CaCO3 breaks into CaO and CO2. The process itself is generating CO2. It's very hard to abate those emissions. We can never reach
company
zero
it is
CO2
not
emission.
expected that we should know everything, right? So the right qualified people right in the place does decide all these things. If you have an efficient engineering team in your company, even then MSM also does require a engineering department. No, not necessarily. If you see,
This is only one example in a cement industry. For energy consumed, eventually for combusting this, cement, we will be using hydrogen. For steel also we are trying to use hydrogen. Eventually now we are using 1 ton of steel to produce 1 ton of coal. Eventually we will go with the hydrogen. So
but
there we can abate. But how the process emitted CO2, how we will abate. So is there any similar things how to abate?
Any fermentation.
Okay.
Fermentation
Right.
is it, but
They should make a platform so that they can.
There use the microorganism. Definitely it deliver release CO2. Na? See, CO2 is part of life. It will be part of life because when we don't have transportation, our respiration, we are, as long as we live, we are going to release the CO2. So net zero, net CO2 zero is and all entire humanity should be, I mean the entire life for that matter, right? As long life is there, CO2 release will be there. The thing is that suppose
And one more.
olden days, now everybody says that vehicle pollution, battery vehicle, and olden days like cows, donkeys, they used to take the grass and release the CO2 and methane only. Actually, olden days transportation more pollution than this now current pollution transportation. Actually, there is a life cycle assessment will be there in so completely yes that is the green belt development. Yes. Otherwise, some alternative for cement if it may come. That's what I'm saying, sir. If cement, always the calcium carbonate you have to burn, and that will. Otherwise, there will be some binding material which is alternative for cement will come. Then that maybe I don't know. Green building people are saying like that.
Straw based bricks and everything. So,
As you told them, that life has to be checked. Now, initially, normally RCC building, 100 years people will say definitely it will be there if you maintain properly. But this agri waste and how many days like bamboo waste also some buildings they are saying instead of iron rods, bamboo if you get more strength, people are saying. We don't know the life, right?
so you did highlight some limitations and to the current changes that needs to be used in circular strategies. But what do you think can be the incentives or partnerships or infrastructure that would encourage you to adopt circular practices? like solvent recovery or water reuse. So what kind of incentives or infrastructure or partnerships that can help you, encourage you?
When you say policy wise, I think JETL is one of the JETL is biggest example. Today, Telangana government, anything inside ORR has to have, if you want to change your product or do anything, you have to have a ZLD. So my facility, we have 2 facilities inside ORR, each is 1 acre. For me to put a ZLD, I need minimum 2 acres of a very basic size. We are all dependent on JETL today. Now JETL is becoming ZLD soon with help of central government grants and other things. But we still don't have a policy that we can send it to JETL, treat JETL as ZLD and take back their water, and then make it a circular economy. We still don't have that policy. We're still struggling to get that policy out.
Actually, what is the waste we are getting from the industries, we are treating and we are making it to ZLD. So now in the ZLD also, the permit which are generated, it cannot be used for the plantation and other purpose, only for the utilities. So total water, it is very difficult to consume for the utilities. So when this water we have checked in our laboratory and outside also, it is meeting almost all standards. It is a drinking water standards like this. So the government has to make a policy when this water.
Just for your information, when you say ZLD, zero liquid discharge. If he is using for plants, it is called surface discharge. So he can't use for plants. It shouldn't come back onto the earth. He should only put it back into machines or processes. Closed process.
Closed loop, complete closed.
Anything. It shouldn't come back onto any of the environment thing. So that is his challenge today. If even we want to buy, I can only use it for process. I can't use for greenery. I can't use for anything else. Continue.
So that is the issue. Huge quantity of the wastewater we are issuing it around.
But it is potable water.
It is
potable water.
Is it suitable for boiler?
Yeah. Already we are using it.
We can sell it to people who
That's what they are using.
But quantity is more, no?
Quantity is more.
Quantity is more quantity. Per day, around 1.5 ml.
So you keep storing it? What do you do?
No, now we are thinking, we are talking to the pollution control board also
We have
to
developed
see.
the facility to treat it to a level of ZLD.
Yeah.
Now the next challenge for us is government to have a policy
Policy.
to reuse it in a easier way. Now if industries can buy water, but this water cannot be used for plantation, there are
But there
restrictions.
is excess water.
There is
There
lot
is excess.
there is
Lot.
Good quality of water.
He
There
is
is access.
generating
Good quality of
1.5
AMLD.
1.5
Million liters per day.
Per day.
Per day.
That is all from the waste. This is coming to the
So much quantity of the wastewater I am reaching.
Normal water you can share and you can transport it, but ZLD water you cannot transport it. That's the policy.
Cannot
No.
be used for
You
plants.
can
Use
you cannot
For this
Only process. Presently,
Discharge.
what is going
Generally
on for
zero
that water?
liquid discharge.
Presently, what are you doing?
Are you just storing it?
no.
No.
Presently
Present.
it is surface discharge.
Just.
It is going into Nala.
No, not Nala, sir.
We have
It is
dedicated
pipeline.
to Amberpet.
We are
And
treating
Amberpet
surface
is
discharge
a-
standard. We are disposing into the sewers. It is going to the Amberpet STP. Again, it is treating it there. Now we are converting it to total zero liquid discharge. That means the reverse osmosis plant also we are commissioning it. After water which is coming from the reverse osmosis plant is like this only. So this
2016, when we tried BHL, in 2016 we are trying to set up a big power plant, 800 megawatt plus power plant. We approached local government for water. There is no water. You use Nagpur's municipal water, like this plant. So we want 80,000 meter cube per day. That is, water will be in recirculation. Cooling tower goes and comes back. It will be kind of circle. Only makeup water we want. So we were forced to set up a big treatment plant to suit the boiler quality water from the municipal discharge. So if such power plants were there, some water can be utilized.
High consumption industries now.
To be located.
You have to find where high consumption industries.
Semiconductor industries, so
Pipelines and everything would be a challenge. How do you take?
Two tankers.
Oh, you take by
Just
tankers.
taking back is expensive.
Oh, you take by tankers.
No, again, road tanker we have to take. That itself expensive affair, right? We have to pay something to change.
the pipeline has to
And
be
then
laid
the transportation have to pay.
for the
Tanker free of cost we will take.
That
Sir,
is about
the-
how
the-
about your industry, sir?
Our
Sir.
batch like 1/3 of, like we have proper generally like JTL only. JTL only. Our requirement is around 700 KLD.
Okay.
So that is huge water requirement. That everything we are taking for municipal water only, because whatever we are recovering, that we are using in the process. Only our makeup is like 30% only we make up.
So do you have extra filtration for your water?
Yeah, evaporation, everything.
So after municipal water, you have your
No,
set of-
our effluent is process effluent only. So whatever the water recovered, that is the quality of we can use in the process. But their effluent is like domestic waste, everything all everything. Industrial, what I meant is domestic waste.
What advantage by being independent?
Water is very expensive, man.
So from here.
No. In general, if you don't recover water, then the expensive. And as per the what is the statutory requirement also, if you want to run the plant, one of the condition to operate the plant is ZLD.
Okay.
So you have to be
So
ZLD.
it's better to have it.
Have it in yours.
Scale allows them to run
Be
it
in-house.
Yes,
independently.
independent. Yes.
But MSME scales doesn't allow us to run it in-house.
So you are a bigger company.
Yeah.
Okay.
The industries which is generating 20 KL per day, 30, 50 or 75, 80 KL per day, making a ZL is a very difficult.
Yes.
You required all the treatment units, it required huge area and the manpower. Either you treat it 100 KLD or 500 KLD, the manpower remains the same.
Why it cannot be used for agriculture? Is there any pathology?
So it can be used for the agriculture
No
policy because see,
So it's the term. You are saying ZLD, zero liquid discharge.
Then we have to play with that. We have to amend that policy. If it is
yeah,
for
it is.
agriculture, people are starving for water.
Not only agriculture, sir. For the industries in the green belt, they can use it. For example, I will tell you, the sludge which is generated in the activated sludge process. In the activated sludge process, sludge is generated. That is nothing but the bacteria. That too, we are using it effective microorganisms and converted it into a compost. It is a very good compost. We have given to the agricultural university to study it. They are studied for 2 years and given a report. Yes, it can be used as a compost, and there is no heavy metals coming in the food grains or the leachate, whatever it is come. We have submitted the report, but regulators are not giving the permission.
Because existing waste may not be having heavy metals, but later on heavy metals can come in.
Sir, if you are thinking in that way, nothing you can do it. Nothing will happen. You can't do anything. If the future that is coming, future this, if I want to go my house, there may be the accident. I can't go it.
Health authorities were more successful in their approach.
No.
Health authorities want to decide that easy.
This is also hazard, accident.
This is scientific. He analyzes every sample which comes. They analyze every sample which is coming into their system. They're analyzing lot of samples throughout the process flow. After the process is completed, over years, that sludge is developed or whatever it is contaminated with lot of different effluents and other things. That sludge, they have developed a process to make it into a biomanure. And then this biomanure has been tested. Now, worst case scenario, if you see how many process effluents went into it, not less than 100 industries must have contributed to make that bio. That is much better than what we try to make in labs and then try to get approvals. It's a worst case scenario. It's a worst case scenario. But no one is ready to take that flag up.
Won't take
And
decisions that easily. See, new medicine is taking 5 years to get a regulatory approval.
JETL also made biobrigades. Even that he was behind PCB and everyone that give us a permission to reuse it. No one wants to take that thing on their part, saying that. So it's a policy matter that if you want a circular economy or whatever you are saying today to recycle, reuse everything, the policy for how do we recycle, how do we reuse also has to be in place.
So if I understand rightly, looks like ETP has more waste which can be recycled, reused, but not being used at this point of time, more than the industry or MSMEs. In that sense, everything is getting collected out here at least.
No, it is not like that. Industry, wherever it is possible to recover, they will recover.
That's what
Huh?
they are taking.
Yeah.
Everything here.
No, they can recover it 100%. But only the thing is the economics. Wherever the economics is there, to the extent they will recover it. When the economics are not coming it out, it will come in the waste. It is coming as a wastewater. That comes to the CETP what we are running. Or if the big industry is there, they are having their own ETP. It is economics plays a role there for recovery also.
I have someone else. So can you please introduce yourself, name, your designation and industry?
Yeah, good afternoon. Myself, Swami, Gangadhar Swami. I am from CPET, Hyderabad.
So CPET is also part of the RAMP. They are one of the organizers So I also have with me Manisha. She's part of RICH. She's part of agricultural vertical. So we have food and agri, life sciences and sustainability. So she's part of food and agri vertical. Okay, so let's continue this discussion. So water is one key thing. Solvent recovery is happening as best as possible. Packaging, raw material, you at least are captive, so you are able to recycle as best as you can. For you, it's a single use, unorganized, so you have to look for some unorganized players. There is no single organized player doing this at all. And if there is a efforts to make it organized, will the economics be easy, favorable? Of course. Okay. So maybe that's one place where we can look at, especially in terms of packaging material or plastics, because the layers that you mentioned does look like it will generate a lot of waste out there. So moving on a little bit, which we kind of were covering it, is the waste management piece. Beyond liquid effluents, what are the major solid waste streams like process, sludge, salts, rejected batches? Do you have this often, rejected batches of your product or material? And how are these currently treated or disposed? The solid waste, not the liquid waste.
See, rejected batches or failed batches, we call that, we reprocess it. It's again reprocess it and convert into usable material only. But again, monitoring and controlling should be good, not to fail first, because reprocessing definitely you lose some material and quality you will achieve or not. Like it's a commercially it will affect, as well as again you are reprocessing that batch, maybe 78% you will recover, and in that batch time one fresh batch would have been processed, that also you are going to lose. So but anyway, if any time it happens, the reprocessing will happen. What is another point is
other solid waste.
Other solid waste, now whatever TSD of landfilling we send, means which, see, whatever closed loop and recycling you do, at some point of time in chemical process is called, we have to purge out the material, otherwise system will not run. Somewhere accumulation will be there, na? So whatever the salts or solid waste will be made periodically, monthly once or something like that, other whenever the system is giving some alarm, you will purge it out, and that has been sent to TSDF, and it, what is that, solid waste disposal, solid waste disposal facility. That like calorific, so if it has some calorific value, then it will burn and we recover the waste heat. Yeah. For that there should be facility also. No? Suppose an incinerator. From PCB we don't have, we are not allowed to incinerate inside the plant because it will generate another pollution. So TSDF also, they segregate the waste which can be burned and generate the energy, and which can be put the cement industries.
There and they are using it. If a calorific value is more than 2500 kilocalories per kg, and they are having the less chlorides, it is going to the cement industries.
Okay. Who ties up with these industries? Like you also mentioned about fertilizers industry and then paper industry. So is it your industry company's responsibility to tie up and sell your?
It's our company responsibility if that comes under hazardous waste, suppose. When you take the permission from the government, like pollution control board and all, so then if it comes under hazardous waste, they will define. This has to go to this industry, cement industry or fertilizer industry, otherwise whatever it is. Otherwise, if our material is having good value and it doesn't come under hazardous waste, wherever we get better value, we will sell there. That is the like.
And when government decides that's hazardous waste, cement or paper or anything, who is responsible for selling it? You or they will take the responsibility?
No, industry. But government, whenever they come for checking, you should have very MOM sign between these two industries, because we don't have any, even though somebody give better money for that, let's assume, but we are not supposed to send, because we have only permission to send this waste to cement industry. Then we have to have the MOU under a memorandum of understanding with that particular industry, and we have to send there only. That all like through online manifest, everything will be recorded in PCB. Systematic way is there. That is, every truck load quantity and truck number, everything is recorded. Yes.
How about you? Your company, solid waste.
In terms of pharma, rejected batches, reprocessing, it again depends on how your regulatory filing is.
Okay.
If you are allowed to reprocess as per your process validation, you can take it for reprocess, or else it's a reject. But majority of the pharma, what we take into consideration is quality by design. So when you're validating your process itself, these failures are accounted, and then certain critical process parameters and all are set. If these are deviated, that is when these rejected batches are generated. So these are not very normal, like, something to happen. It's a rare thing. Any kind of physical contamination and all, we do have certain procedures to recycle it and reuse it. But in terms of chemical failure and all, it is again in the purview of our regulatory filing, whether you can reprocess it. In case you can't reprocess, for us it's destruction. So as long as it's a drug, it has to be destroyed in presence of the drug inspector, because these can go out as if you are putting out in the market, it goes as substandard drugs. So we have a strict this thing, every kg generated, we have to show the consumptions and these things. But in case of destruction also, once a drug is formed, in presence of them, we have to destroy. So the way we destroy is, you dissolve it in the required solvent and put it out as effluent. And that would be very expensive, high COD, high TDS, things like that. So what they generally do is, based on the quantity it is rejected, they choose a route. Sometimes they take a special permissions for direct landfill, things like that, or else dissolve it and dispose.
And the transport of your waste to ZLDs is also by tankers?
Tankers and
So tankers.
tankers.
By tankers, usually transportation by tanker, it is a very good quality control for the CETPs.
Okay.
Each and every tanker we can assess the quality of the wastewater.
Online manifest is
Yeah.
Pipes or anything.
Yeah.
Suppose domestic
In the
water
pipes,
is-
it is very difficult
Source to identify the source.
from which industry.
Okay.
So each and every tanker is rejected.
Oh, so you have a
Yeah.
option to reject the.
Yeah.
That's what they have.
We have also standards. We have also standards to accept it.
Has it happened? It got rejected.
Yes.
And then what? Then what do you go back and do?
Pre-treat. Pre-treat and send it.
And transport cost double.
And again carbon dioxide, everything is coming and going again coming. So actually if it,
all this production process things are there, whereas energy is also wastage is there, like mechanical energy and power. These things will be run with the electrical loads, whereas these treatment plants, they doesn't have any separately power plants. They don't have. Wherever EB boards is supplying, where you are having the non-linear loads are involved, where energy wastage is more, energy consumption is more. Due to that energy that load and all, it will affect that grid level side. So energy also, there is a wastage of energy. For that we have the power quality solutions that we can able to the efficiency will increase it to maintain the load as well as the energy wasting the energy to maintain the power factor. Active energy should be more, whereas the reactive sources and all to less consumption. So whereas energy wastage is also there in that.
This is a good place to ask about the energy utilization. Thank you for bringing that. So how does your companies manage the energy, even the ZL?
yeah, you said that energy consumption is more, yes, definitely. When we are going for the zero liquid discharge plants or in the aeration system, that is the activated sludge process, what we are using it. But the consumption of the power is linear only, because once the plant is started, it will operate continuous 24 by 365 days. It will never stop. Okay, continuously biological plant. In the multiple effect evaporators also, if sufficient load is not there, then only it will stop. Otherwise, it is a continuous. But now the things has been changed. Earlier, waste management is a waste, but now it is a first. Without waste management, you won't get the permission. So we have also gone for all the equipments we are having VFDs. Now we have made it a automation. I3, all the I4 we don't have. Still, it is very difficult to get it. We have changes to all I3 motors, totally SCADA operations. Everything we have also made it a systematic. Even we are generating power steam at 14 kg. My process is required 8 kg pressure. Instead of PRV, we are going for the back pressure turbine. We are generating power. Wherever it is possible, we are identifying and making it, because energy is very costly and it is one of the most expensive part in our plant. Energy. So we are more concentrated on that and we are using it.
Three are the expenditures that we have.
Okay.
So power, water and fuel. These are the three major expenditures that we have, apart from raw material. Yeah. So in that sense, every energy saved will add to the.
So how do you make, do you have any
See,
digital solutions or innovations?
We have established a 1 megawatt solar power plant, 100 kilometers from Hyderabad. We were giving it to the grid and utilizing both our facilities. But with the new policy changes and all, it doesn't make viable. We have stopped generation. We are taking it from EB.
What will happen to that part?
Just shut down, that's it. They are lying there. Now we are thinking of taking in Telangana. Kamareddy.
Even then it is not viable.
No, not
Telangana,
viable.
within the Telangana itself.
Not viable.
How about your company? How does it?
Energy for us also very energy intensive process only. So frequent energy audits. I mean, it is compulsory in our organization. Every 2 years we have to conduct the energy audit, and whatever the sessions will come, like the big bucket list will come out. Everything we cannot implement because of technical feasibility as well as commercial viability both. So but low hanging fruits immediately we implement. Then only process improvement. According to me, energy saving or process efficiency will achieve. Shop floor people we have to talk. Those who are working at shop floor level, right? They will say to make their work easy, they will give certain ideas. It's not that they don't know you save the energy, it is a process improvement and all. But to make this, sir, like this, if you do, then it will be very easy, sir. But because of that, but then we have to apply our engineering knowledge, okay. Because of that, this is the saving. He doesn't know that is the saving happening. So closely we have to interact with the people. Because see, as energy saving, na, VFD is a common thing. If any energy auditor you call, he will give 100 motors with 100 VFDs. But really, full load 24% if run only, it will save something. So these kind of ideas will be there. Other than that, we can fuel changeover because we have changed over from Indian coal, our Singareni coal to bio-briquette or imported coal. Really, that gave us very good energy saving thing. Other instead of evaporation, we have gone for the membrane system. That is the one very good saving. The other than thing, like every day, so many like companies because see we in day to day operation, no, for improvement thinking scope will be very less. So, but so many companies like they'll approach, they explain whatever is applicable to us, and again a techno economical viability and everything check, we'll implement that. But electrical energy and thermal energy we can save. Electrical energy, as sir said, no. If it is linear 24/7, then where will save? Unless until you put more efficient some motor or more efficient thing. Otherwise, everywhere. In fact, we see that after, I mean, when we come to office, if any light is there, unnecessarily we say that why that light is there. That level, industries will control.
Okay. Moving little
See,
away
the
from the energy.
things is the performance improvement. What we are talking about this, how the improvement in JETL we have made is, we have the multiple effect operator of four effect. It has made it to 6 effect. Falling film, rising film has removed and totally making it a rising film operators, and tubes, all the tubes, MOC has been changed to titanium tubes, standard sizes, everything we have made it. The performance is drastically improved. 1 kg of steam is operating around 2.5 to 3 kg has gone to 5 kg. This is how the performance. This is all with the experience. Without performance improvement, it is very difficult for sustenance of the any industry. And almost all sustainable methods they are using in all the industries, either in the process or in the waste management. Wherever it is possible, feasible, they are doing it. Otherwise, they will not sustain.
I see a lot of progressiveness in both STP and the companies in terms of accepting innovation and changes. What is the biggest pain point in dealing with hazardous waste, especially in small quantities? Like, is it cost, transportation delays, or distance to the treatment plants, or lack of on site segregation? Like hazardous waste substance, what is the biggest pain point?
That is a cost only.
Because
Cost.
quantity will less, suppose one truck, it will go 14-15 ton. So they are generating 1 ton only per day. So 15 days he has to store. But PCB don't agree. Within 1 week you have to dispose. Then he has to pay 15 tons cost for 7 ton material.
Happens? It's common?
Yeah.
Very common. Very common. Okay.
But it has to dispose it also. It has to be disposed it also. You cannot hold the waste. because aging of the waste can go for the reactions.
As per PCB,
And
more than 7 days you cannot keep
okay.
inside the premises. So in 7 days it won't generate 15 ton. Their truck minimum capacity 15 ton.
That as well as your R&D waste is very expensive, very very expensive. That will go for destruction in the incinerator. They will cost in terms of kgs. Okay, it is more than the product cost. That cost is becomes a very expensive for disposal of the hazardous waste.
Glassware, R&D waste.
Glassware, even chemicals also. You have 1 kg chemical, 2 kg chemicals, the expired chemicals.
This is what makes the difference.
Sister.
Anything which is not in our
Even
list of
our
processes are
cooling tower fills disposal is a big headache.
insulation.
Insulation.
Insulation material goes.
Even spoiled milk is a hazard, it seems, as per the PCB norms. Spoiled milk packet.
So we can't do it also.
Dairy industry itself is a hazard. It is categorized under ready category. No, dairy industry is a red category.
For curiosity, I want to ask you a question. I am living in Pragati Nagar, just nearby Industrial Balan, Idea Balan. Every time I used to come out in the dawn morning, when rain comes, there is a dangerous smell comes. When especially when rain comes. So what is happening? Just for the curious. So if whenever rain comes, the industries leave the waste, gaseous wastes into the atmosphere. Is it happens?
No.
I don't know actually. What is
And Bachupalli area, that area always this concern. One is the water concern and the air concern.
See, air concern is there is a low temperature. Temperature is not there. So dispersion will not be there. Dispersion, that is the issue. Usually winter and this time so we face that one. Stagnate. It will not disperse it out. That is the reason, that one. Other than this, even we have also seen more than the industrial waste, domestic waste is the issue, sir, in that area. There is hazardous waste, they are stocking it there. In the night, anaerobic process will happen. The gases are releasing, smell is coming out, and it is just throwing onto the industry. This is what it has been happened. In the rainy season also, the stock waste, domestic waste also, it is there. When rain comes, it is not covered. It is not covered. It is just flushing it out. And in Hyderabad, as per our knowledge, most of the areas are not sewers. They are not pipeline. They are just in the open cutter. The solids, wherever the solid which is settling there, everything will come out, and when it is coming out, it will release the gases. The methane gases, it is coming out. And of course, some industry, maybe I am not denying it of all 100%.
The areas
But
near to industry built only, the smell is coming. Other places it is not.
it is coming. No, I am staying in Hafizpet. I am also feeling that Nala smell, it is coming huge there.
No, that is
There,
different.
there,
Smell
methane
I can
smell.
recognize. I can
Me-
recognize.
methane.
because I used to stay in
Sir.
other place near
Sir, one
JNT.
day,
I didn't.
one day Raj Bhavan had smell. PCB official came to
JETL.
Okay.
JETL smell is coming to Rajasthan.
Raj Bhavan, governor is having bad day.
Governor. So, even I tell you, sir.
JTL, the common facilities for
At GMAT.
Hyderabad.
Yes.
One of the successful
I think
in India.
And I can see that it's very innovative, very
No,
no.
progressive, very forward thinking.
No.
I think my observation is there is no sufficient management for waste management, gaseous or solid or
Sir, no, sir. Sorry, sir. What I want to say is, in the earlier that stage, I accept it. Now it is not there. If it is not maintained, industry will not survive at all. Industry will not survive at all.
outside also. Domestic waste.
I'll put you, I'll give a person.
Yeah.
Kind of what is that? vigilance is there by statutory authorities. Anytime vigilance, task force, PCB, RO, ZO, anytime they will visit. So just like the pollution control people, no, and it is not that just like that by throwing nobody can manage. It will be closed next day. Our front gate, back gate, in between plant, everything is live streaming at PCB. Suppose you give one complaint, ammonia smell is coming. Then immediately, where is the ammonia causing industry? They identify that CC cameras. They will check. If any truck went out, or other their gutter, our gutters are CCTVs. So like that in GDMetla, no industry can survive. No industry can just discharge the waste. Impossible that is. Okay, I am telling you, sir. In 21 cameras of my site are broadcasting in PCB. Anytime, every minute they can. It's impossible, sir, for any industry, even small industry, big industry. It is impossible to. So immediately, suppose some people are giving complaint. Last time also we can. So they will take the sample in that gutter. They analyze. They have high quality HPLC, GC, GCMS, all enable accredited labs they have in PCB. They component analysis they do. So so they definitely they know which industry is producing what component. They will compare these component with this industry. Then immediately they CC camera they check. Any discharge is there anything? It's impossible. As after
Just add.
Time for industries so that only during this time you'll discharge the gas.
No. Never. You can never discharge anything. We scrub everything. PCB comes, checks whether our scrubbers are working. Our scrubbers are connected to online pH meters. These online pH meters, every minute they transmit to PCB office. The moment your transmission stop, you get an alert. MD gets a message.
So it's all digital already.
completely.
We have cameras.
Boiler stacks are 24/7 water.
By both.
But
And-
what is the socks, knocks?
Telangana PCB.
Yeah, Telangana Central Board also is connected.
And our data goes to CPCB and TSPC.
So
You-
is it because it's a pharma industry, Hyderabad is the main
See,
place, so
that's-
the focus is like that?
Everywhere like that only. But Hyderabad is more. Yeah, compared to Gujarat.
Previously, there were people who did all this kind of things. So that mark has been there that any smell, any discharge, anything happening is coming from chemical and pharma industry. But to your surprise, if you see the data and all, chemical and pharma industries are much better than our current sewages or any kind of small metallurgy industries in Balanagar.
And industries that coating industries,
Electroplating.
electroplating, huge pollution.
Okay,
Add one more thing. We all
maybe
have
electroplating you can mention.
national sensing agency across our factories.
Yeah.
ISRO, they have this satellite tracking thing behind us. They have set up their institution and then their sensors got corroded. Almost 2 years they have monitored all our stacks around our industry. There is no conclusive data. Whom to be blamed? Their sensor supplier or industry here or which one? So we are highly regulated and we are being monitored more than required.
So, a general question on the shared facility. Do you think what role can a shared industrial infrastructure like common hazardous waste collection, pharma specific treatment centers, or cluster based compliance models play in solving your waste management? Is it a better way to do shared? Way to go. So, you think that concept of shared facility, common areas?
See, if you have a bigger boiler, you generate high pressure steam. With back pressure, you generate power. And then this steam is distributed to all the industries. Plus this, the scale, the economics is going to be very different. Then when you have a treatment facility, everything common there, it is one thing less to worry for an core industry too. Whereas my aim is to give a quality product out, but not waste management. Peripheral. that will be taken care. Green belt, other things also, when it is common, you utilize the land in a better way.
So the pharma city was a welcome idea in that sense. Okay. Just out of curiosity, since I am from the life sciences vertical, we always get heard about antimicrobial resistance. Not sure how much applies to your industries, but sewages, water, lake bodies are the breeding grounds for antimicrobial resistance in addition to hospitals infections. So what is your take on that?
See, antimicrobial, actually whether the data is available, where it is coming.
That's exactly.
So,
Should we start surveillance?
yeah, whether
And
the
if we have to
hospital
start
waste,
surveillance, where we should start it? Should we start
sewage,
villages?
industries, there is no data available as per my
I
knowledge.
totally agree.
Just blaming to the industry is not correct.
So
See
are
what
the
happen,
industry
what
open for
happens in
surveillance?
the now industrial wastewater is segregated, high TDS and low TDS. In the low TDS, no chemicals are coming, very negligible. In the high TDS, everything is evaporating. Everything evaporating, condensing and doing it, whatever the solid which is coming is sending to the TSDF or the cement industry. So just because the accessibility of the industry, just blaming to the industry, I feel it may not, but after it is concerned by all, we are also a public, it is concerned to us also. So without data, just we should not say that. First, if your data is measured, as per my this thing, the municipalities are more responsible for this than compared to the industries. Where no.
Hospital waste is being collected.
Liquid waste. No. The AMR, where it will come from the liquid waste, no? Where there is there separate treatment system? Liquid, solid waste incinerating, sir. Liquid waste.
Solid waste means cotton basically.
Cotton, gloves, syringe. Liquid waste. Then
Let us understand core of the problem. Okay, why are we talking about AMRs? That's because humans are getting resistance to whatever antibacterial or antimicrobial agents we have. Is use of antibiotics regulated in this country? It starts from there. Okay, whatever discharges that we are having and all, it is on your fingertips. Data is available on your fingertips. Who manufactures it? Where it is coming? Rest all waste is coming from human use and human consumption. Okay, so if the whole practice of using antibiotics, it starts there, that is when the whole cycle will set. So it's just not going and testing your sewage and saying that there is antibacterial resistance. You have you have consumed certain antibacterials, it is not working in your body, the bacteria is defected from your body, it gone into sewage, it is developing antibacterial resistant stuff there. It is not industry which is generating. So the start or the thinking has to be from use of antibacterials in this country. You are supposed to dispense antibacterial with a prescription. How many of you are getting it? You have a throat pain, you go take an erythromycin.
Day before yesterday, I went for cough, sore throat, and he told me take antibiotic.
Erythro and all, where first line of antibacterials are not being used, home remedies are not being used. A viral infection treated, not treated is for 1 week. So AMR is something, that's my view. You have to start.
Yeah, so we have sticky notes. If you each one of you can take one and write one problem statement that you would want for which innovation can be worked on. So we do have an innovation challenge as part of this intervention that under ramp. So one problem statement for which you would want a innovation or a solution. Each one of you, if you can write one. Any pencils we can. can be related to waste management, circularity.
Hydrogen as energy for industrial process.
Definitely. Srinivas Charla is an expert in hydrogen, green hydrogen basically.
Europe is far behind. I mean,
Far ahead of us. So we are working on a Norway-based project right now. So
If someone can have that whole, I have seen. I think Panasonic in Japan has implemented it. It's a mixture of hydrogen, solar, and then wind. And then all 365 days, even snow days, they are self-sustaining.
so energy, basically for energy efficiency.
Reduce so much of cost.
Cost effective here.
Right now it's not.
It will eventually.
It will eventually.
We see startups also coming up in
When
that
you,
area.
when you see the total effect, that's fine. When you see the total effect, like if you want to start it off, like the effect burning a carbon is doing versus generating a hydrogen, that whole scale, this is more efficient. And again, if more number of people start using it, it's like EVs and battery technology, right? If more number of people start using it, it will come.
That's okay, that's okay.
Our name is to be written on that.
No, it's okay. Thank you. I think that was a good discussion. Any inputs, we will reach out to you. Thank you once again for the candid discussion. And I definitely had a lot of insights. I don't come from an industry, so it was really an insightful session for me. Thank you all.